Board games, board games, it's what we're talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this morning with a little bit of singing. And today I'm here by myself and I am talking to myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Bez. Wow, there's Xate. And let's see what Xate says. Xate says surprise. And that is something that my eyes can't be believing. Hello, everybody. Good to see you here. And maybe this is a song that you can hear. Board games. I'm not gonna shout. Board games, it's what we're talking about. Morning, hello. And it is approximately brunch time, depending on where you are. I am Bez, and this is the BEZZY Brunchy board game BLETHER. And good morning to everyone. Um, no, there's never a time when I'm going to shout. I mean, yeah, maybe we could sort out some special stream. Um, it's lovely to see you here. And today is going to be all about me, and it's basically checking in with myself and an ask me anything. If you want to ask me anything, now is your opportunity. And so checking in with myself, that is what I'm thinking about. Checking in with myself, and I'm still not gonna shout. Sorry, Xate. And morning, Andrew January, and morning, Alan Outson. It is lovely to see you all. I'm going to start, as usual, with a little brilliant thing. Here's a little thing which is brilliant. Now, as always, I like to look at some things which are maybe underappreciated. Back in the day, I talked about my forefinger. Now I want to talk about my thumb. I mean, we didn't start off with the thumb, although it is clearly the most important, digit. I mean, according to the rules of Inabind/Yogi, the thumb is a finger, and I just want to make that very clear. If you have finger touching nose, this is totally allowed. Now, the wonderful thing about thumbs is, you can hold things because it's opposable, like that. Boom, boom, boom. Like I see these robots, and sometimes they have 3 digits. Like 3 seems to be like a good number, like a kind of tripod, and then you can grasp. It's without a thumb, I don't think we could manipulate these sorts of things. We couldn't grasp clearly. I mean, think about how difficult it is to pick up things with your toes. Then just think about all the things that your thumbs enable you to do, to pick up cash, well, typing doesn't really matter with the thumb, but to open the laptop, maybe. I mean, to carry things, to hold onto your bicycle as you cycle down the road. Thumbs are amazing. Thumbs up for thumbs. Now we've got a quick question. How successful was the Bind Yourself promotion I did in the past 2 days? Now, Xate, would you mind me showing your Instagram? Is that okay? I'm going to get into that. If you can give me permission to show your Instagram. Great. Xate. So just so people know, moving away from the brilliant thing, this is Xate's Instagram, and it's got food like the pie, and it's got some games, and then the second most exciting thing to my mind is this patchwork pizza doodle. But the most exciting thing to my mind is this photo, which is for the In a Bind contest, where Xate entered this photo and completely covered themselves with cards. Now, I'm just going to say that this is basically the photo to beat. And even if you don't manage to beat it, I've been very excited to see some pictures from Andrew January. Thank you very much, Andrew. It's really lovely to see. Now there's two people who are putting in photos into it. And let me actually just bring up the BEZZY In a Bind photo competition and send. It is a competition where if you enter, you will potentially you just have a show yourself wound up, or show a mannequin, or anything you want. Show something to do with the In a Bind Yogi cards, and you will basically I will appreciate that. I will show off the photos over the extended BEZZY stream, and then I will the winner will get drawn in the style of In a Bind. And yeah, let me know how you get on, Andrew. Now, this is a little bit of an interesting show. I want to talk about, before we get stuck into everything and just start rambling about everything and anything and doing all the Ask Me Anythings, I want to talk about recent highlights, listening to music and seeing the sights, recent highlights. So, recent highlights for me are basically chatting with Tiz, chatting to Xate, and chatting to Josh. Genuinely talking to such lovely people, on video. There's also, it was lovely to see people coming along and chatting in the comments yesterday, and Alan Outson. I really genuinely appreciate you and like everyone else who's coming, and like people chat, nice chats kind of. But for me, the verbal communication on video, it's just so much easier. And yeah, it's kind of it for me, there's something lovely about seeing someone's face and chatting to them. And then it is, even in this day and age of being so far away from people, we can still have other people, thanks to the technology that we have. We can still have Tiz Creole over. Do you remember that yesterday? I don't know if everyone watching was there yesterday, but that was such a lovely thing, chatting to each other, and then chatting during the show, and then chatting after the show about things that we're doing and our own Seize the Power project. Then chatting to Xate about In a Bond, and just chatting mainly about just life and all sorts of other things that I might not talk about with everyone, because communication, talking, it's such a wonderful thing to have this true conversation, a sharing of ideas, a decision to say, I'm going to listen to you. And it's not about changing the other person's view. It's just about expressing yourself, putting your own views forward, but mainly listening and learning. And I think that for me, that has been such a wonderful thing. And yes, for sometimes it's lovely to check in, and and thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it too. And going back to the other highlights, which was actually Xate's entry, I'm going to bring up my Twitter very quickly. And today, one of my topics is going to be Creative Commons / copyright on images, because it has been brought to my attention mainly by one individual that it might not be cool that I'm showing all these pictures from Board Game Geek on the stream. And so I wanted to ponder, okay, going forwards, does that probably what I'm going to do is for the games that we've been playing, just keep that to like 30 seconds or a minute as a quick, well, we are talking about board games, but we're probably not going to have a big in-depth discussion about it, because it feels like, someone made an entirely valid point that lots of the pictures on Board Game Geek are copyrighted, and the whole notion of streaming, it is kind of like a legal, ethical quagmire. And should we be, when we're streaming a board game, sure, for the publisher of that board game, it's lovely that I'm streaming it. If I stream a video game for the publisher of that video game, it's lovely that I'm streaming it. But if I am sharing a bunch of pictures from Board Game Geek, sure, the publisher should be very happy. But what about the people who took those photos? Maybe it's not okay with them. And that's something that I've been just realizing. Anyway, it's, in this kind of sherry world that we live in, it is definitely something to ponder. Going back to the comments, I previously posted the comments in Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and if you want to be drawn in the style of the original in a bind cards, then please do enter the competition. Now, let's get to... I will quickly go over games. What have you been playing? What are their names? Let me know in the comments, what have you been playing? What have been your recent highlights? And yesterday, I sadly did not get to play anything except for I took a couple of moves on Ponte del Diablo, Color Pop by Gigamic, and the third one was that Crazy Farmers and the Clouters Electriques. In Crazy Farmers and the Clouters Electriques, I continue to enjoy it. It's almost a perfect information strategic game, except that it brings in these crazy cards that you get injected whenever you surround a barn. Presumably, if you wanted to make the game a little bit crazier, you could start each person off with a bunch of cards. Why not? And it's about enclosing these shapes. As you are working to enclose a shape, someone can go over and cut the fence just before you manage to enclose a shape. There is the temptation to just go, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, just to enclose shapes one hex at a time, which is perfectly reasonable, and that is a low risk way to do things. But if you go for a bigger shape, then not only is it faster because you need to go around fewer sides, but also you get a speed bonus. If you've already got 4 lines along, then you get to zoom along, and instead of your base speed being 3, your base speed is 4. And it's a really good aspect that encourages you to take those additional risks, because there is an additional reward associated with that. And that is something that I've really enjoyed. I've enjoyed Ponte del Diablo. I've got quite a bit of respect for this kind of bringing in a small deck of crazy cards just to twist a perfect information strategic game into having a tiny bit of hidden information and a tiny bit of randomness to make it more open. I think that's quite a nice thing. So we've got other highlights, which I didn't actually notice, the steampunk pirate picture. Alan out, but your mummy picture was definitely a highlight of mine. Just going back to boom, that is definitely the picture to contend with. Alan Outson played High Society, great game. Reiner Knizia, all about trying to spend money, get the best stuff without spending the most money. And BEZZY, oh wow, all of Alan Outson's family preferred BEZZY to High Society. That is quite high praise. Although there is always the, sorts of subconscious bias when it's family or friends. It's like, I like this game because, I want to like this game because I like this person. I mean, I'm not saying that that's definitely what's happening, but it is always a risk to watch out for. And Aqua and Xate are getting Invisible rules cleaned up. And then we're working on Bidabel and a new L game. And Alan Outson says that their family is very mean. Well, there you go. Oh, I do want to. I don't normally just give random shout outs to other Twitch people. And just for this whole, while we're giving shout outs to things, I just on Twitch, I'm going to, yeah, so Azabasa on Twitter shared this thing with me of, well, with everyone about someone doing dance music from violin, and I just skipped ahead quite a bit from their latest performance, and it was really solid. Now, I want to talk about the main topics for today, before I get into the real Ask Me Anythings, are talking about these 4 games, and then secondly, talking about the copyright stuff. And yeah, so I'll be doing reviews, I'll be talking about the copyrighted stuff, I'll be talking about the stream, I'll be talking wee bits about BEZZY, and then that's everything. Yeah. So let's start off talking about copyrighted stuff, and let me explain what I'm talking about. So if we look at what I've done on Twitch, so let's see if I can get a little bit of so-called inception here. I'm going to go onto my own Twitch and show you a little thing from yesterday. No, that's not quite working. Let me. Okay, so what I do normally is I start off talking about games that we've been playing. I kind of carry on, and here you can see this is what I was talking about yesterday. Yesterday I had Tiz on. Do you remember this? And then we talked about terraforming Mars, and then we talked about Reef. Now I understand the irony of me showing a thing whilst I'm asking if I'm allowed to show this thing, and you know, I've kind of, to some degree, already done the damage. But let me say, this is uploaded by Kafuna, this particular image. And so when I show these images, I don't know if you can see. So this is uploaded by Lord Bider. So all of these images, you can see on the sort of top left, just above the image. And this one's uploaded by Echo Operative. Now you can understand, and this one's whoops, the previous one was afterwards by Mad Goblin, then by Giant Fiore, then by Haisia, and then that's by Matthews Zagia. And you can, if I'm to read out the name of everyone who's been uploading these things, then that is, yeah, not really, yeah, something that I can be doing. It's going to break up the conversation. It's going to be, you know, that what I'm trying to do fundamentally is to say, hey, we are talking about this game. I'm not assuming that other people know what this game is like. I know that probably right now, out of the, I can see there's 4, 5 people watching. Out of the 5 people watching, I'm going to assume that 4 or 5 of you will know what terraforming Mars is, but maybe you don't. Now, Xate says, I feel if they put it on the internet and if you're just saying, oh, look, and not making money off showing it or using it in an unintended way, it's fine. And you aren't affiliated and are just showing the image exactly as they uploaded it. And so, but, you know, one person, so I asked yesterday in a Facebook group, because I was wondering, and I'm having someone on to talk about their game. Their game is actually on Board Game Arena, and that's why I'm having them on, because I'm curious about the process of programming a game to put it onto Board Game Arena. It's not something I will ever be likely to do, but I'd like to talk to someone who's gone through that process. And if people haven't heard of terribly foaming Mark or tree-forming Mars, in all seriousness, if people aren't familiar with what Dice and Ink is, that's why I've got it here, and I can say, yes, this is Dice and Ink, just as a quick reminder, and I show it off, which is, you can see it's got my name on it, and I am biased. If you can't remember what Labyrinth the Cards game is, I can show it to you. Now, if someone else is talking about then maybe I don't have pictures of it and I want to show it off. And yeah, at this point, it feels like I don't know what the right call is. I don't know what the right thing to do is. It feels like the simplest and most safe option to go forwards is simply to stop showing other people's photos 100%, because oh man, is this actually true? Are you actually planning an edible version called Pizza Forming Mars? That seems like a really difficult game to convert into a thing. That's crazy. I am, wow. When is your birthday? But I know I could probably look it up, but yeah, if you're willing to share online on the internet. Oh wow, I didn't realize that's 2 days after mine. Samesies. Maybe you told me, but I forgot. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the point is, when I'm talking about these games, someone made a point. Well, it's the only value of the only person who benefits by showing off these pictures is you. And I guess that is one way to look at it. Like, yeah, I benefit by you people being here, and by showing it off. You could argue that, okay, it makes my stream better, which benefits all of you peeps, but that is quite an egocentric way to look at it. It's kind of suggesting that what I'm doing is of public benefit. And I'm not sure that I could really go that far if I were to be up in a public law and being like, okay, is your primary motivation for doing these streams for public benefit? I would not be able to say, yes, that is the reason. As I've said before, the primary reason for me doing these streams is my own mental health. Frankly, a reason to get up in the morning, a nice connection with someone else, being able to chat. And Xate says that they'd find it super cool if their BGG photos got shown off and they put pictures up there because they're proud of them. And so it feels like probably this is a conversation that I want to have with more people, not just because one individual said that they would be annoyed if it was shown without credit. And also the notion of what is credit, because again, if in the stream with Alan Paul, nearly 2 weeks ago, I don't know how many people's photos I showed. I'm guessing I skipped through pictures at a rate of less than 1 second each. And so maybe, honestly, those pictures are just there to say, hey, this is something that looks cool, and if it looks super cool, if it's a really good illustration, I'll keep it on screen for longer. If it's not that cool, well, it's kind of something else that shows what the game looks like. And yes, I mean, okay, let's go, and I am going to look at Reef right now at Board Game Geek, and so if you look at Reef, the picture of the 2nd edition cover was uploaded by Michael Young, as a promotional image, and it says copyright, all rights reserved. If I look at Michael Young's designer page, yeah, it doesn't look like Michael Young has anything to do with Reef as a designer, certainly. Or, oh, Michael Young is part of Plan B Games, apparently. So Michael Young presumably would actually want me to show this picture. No, Plan B Games did not do Reef. It looks like Plan B Games did Village, Junkart. So yeah, just to show the Plan B Games. So this is that, and then as I'm scrolling through this, all these pictures that I'm showing, the picture beside Great Western Trail, I mean, it feels like a legal quagmire, and I honestly don't know what to do about it. I don't think this isn't something that I can just ponder myself and work out, because it's not just my own desires. And the fact that I never accepted affiliate does probably put me in a slightly different legal position. And yeah, now I'm actually really happy about that. Alan Outson says US law, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies or phonorecords. What's a phonorecord? What is a phonorecord? Or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching. I don't think this counts. Scholarship or research is not an infringement of copyright. Okay, so phonorecords is apparently vinyl. And Alan did say something up. My understanding is that generally it is not an issue to show copyrighted stuff as long as it's not financially affecting the copyright holder. So let's look at this. So the fair use, what is fair use? And I spoke to someone who yesterday told me basically none of this really comes under fair use. And even when you look at streaming of board games and streaming of video games, technically it's not actually fair use. It's just that people have accepted that this is a thing that gets done. And from the publisher's perspective, they are happy for it to be streamed. Now, the question is, can I say that this is it criticism? Like, I think it is criticism, because when I show it up, we are critiquing the games, even if it's really quick. We are, but we're not critiquing the photograph. I think that's the key point, that the photograph itself is the copyrighted work. So, of course, I can say, hey, this is Labyrinth. This is a game that I played, and I think that I can say, yes, this is a game, and I think it's terrible for 6 players. But I've enjoyed playing it multiple times. I keep saying it. I'm not wanting to say, look, let me say some nice things about Labyrinth later on. But the point is, okay, what is the copyrighted work that I am maybe critiquing? Because if I'm critiquing the photograph, I could say, okay, I think that means that I could look at this photograph and say, according to Alan Outson, this photograph is a very impressive photograph of the cover of the game, taken by Michael Young. This photograph shows the cover of the game very clearly. I don't know how they managed to do it. Did they scan it? Did they take a photo of it? Was it indeed a photograph? I don't know. But whatever they did, this is a very good documentary, I would call it. And this is very good addition to the world of Board Game Geek. So well done, Michael Young, known as Echo Operative. And that, and that's a slight issue because, you know, the Echo Operative, the username is different from Michael Young, the person's name. And yeah, so if I've now, with the criticism that I've now said, does that mean that it has been fair that I've shown it? But then what about those little thumbnails at the bottom? Am I instantly in breach of copyright? I mean, I'm aware that with every time that I do this, if I am, then that's making it worse and worse. But I'm making this video in order to try and work out what I should be doing going forward so that I can correct my stuff. Like, I could contact Board Game Geek, but I think that the correct answer is to plan everything that I'm going to show, to contact everyone who uploaded those photos and check in with them to make sure that it's permissible for me to show those photos, and then to put those photos into a separate folder and then to scroll through those photos. And that would clearly not be reasonable for this stream when, hey, I don't know how long Alan Paul is, sorry, Alan Alton. I don't know how long Alan Paul is going to be talking about Fields of Glory, for example. And so we might be chatting about Fields of Glory for 5 minutes and I'll just be flicking through photos that you're doing it for a wee bit. I mean, obviously with Tiz, when yesterday, if we, where is it? When I was with Tiz and then during the course of the stream, if you remember, I was having all sorts of pictures show up. And I think that this is totally fair because I've gotten Tiz up, Tiz is agreeing to having these pictures shown. And maybe that's all that I can have doing this. But yeah, other than having the pictures from the person who was actually coming on, I don't know if I honestly don't know. Like, is there a website where there are copyrightable things that people could use via their streams? I mean, I'm aware that what I'm doing is probably fairly unique. Andrew, I'm not familiar with Tom Scott. Is Tom Scott someone who does YouTube videos about fair use and criticism? And are you referring to my criticism of the game, or when I critiqued the photograph? Because I think I did a reasonable job of critiquing the photograph. I'm not saying that it was a great critique, but it felt like it was definitely critique. Anyway, going back, am I offering criticism of these things, not of the photographs? Am I commenting on, no, is it news reporting? No, it's certainly not what could legally be called news reporting, except for the Spiel des Jahres bits, I guess. The Spiel des Jahres, yeah, that was fine. Teaching, I don't know what teaching applies as. And so, yeah, that is basically something that I have to work out. So, yeah. And Alan Alton says that I'm helping viewers understand the subject through images, and that's education. When you upload to BGG, it automatically assumes you want to choose all rights reserved, and to change it, you have to know to click and change that first. I never noticed before, just saw it now because I was looking for it. That's very interesting. And finally, Andrew January says, Tom Scott did a video about fair use. It was well researched. And yeah, so just showing them didn't count. So yeah, so as fair use, I'd be better off talking to more people. And I've had people tell me that even though it might be legal, what I'm doing, it's also, do I want to annoy people? And if there's even a couple of people annoyed by me showing their photographs, that's kind of probably a thing that I'd like to avoid. You know, it's really important to avoid that sort of thing, because if there's a couple of people who are like, hey, I uploaded this thing, and I'm just looking up a board game that I know that the pictures were uploaded by the things, and yes, that is all rights reserved by the publisher and all rights reserved by someone else, and wow. So there's all rights reserved by someone who actually puts up a screenshot of someone else playing a game, which is quite ironic. And yeah, so just looking at my own Kitty Cataclysm, I saw that the cover photo for Kitty Cataclysm. So if I want to show this via the photo on Board Game Geek, I can't because it's all rights reserved. I'm going to go to Kitty Cataclysm right now, and if I go to Kitty Cataclysm, and if you were to go to Kitty Cataclysm on Board Game Geek, and if you were to click on the main image, and it is done by Deb J at Ellen M, and it is that image, and it's all rights reserved. I mean, I messaged them at the time last year to say, hey, it's a great representative image. I hope you're enjoying the game, and they gave me a thumbs up. And so presumably they're happy for it to be a representative image. But yeah, what are the rights? What are all these rights that are being reserved? I guess that's the thing, because all rights reserved, presumably that doesn't mean that I can't speak of it. Like, that would be completely ridiculous if I couldn't say that Deb J, known as Ellen M, has uploaded the cover of Kitty Cataclysm. I don't know if it's a photo, and then being cropped, I don't know if it's scanned, I don't know what, but they did a good job, and it saved me a bit of work, and it was very nice of them. This is really a minefield, for want of a better word, and I don't have any good solution. And so ideas and opinions are very welcome, bearing in mind that I do stream like 7 times a week, and I'm not, frankly, most days even doing the 10 minutes of work of swapping around the bits of text that I show is a bit more than I actually achieve, let alone actually checking in touch with stuff. And Xate says, I would be more okay with my images being shown than with my full name and username being said on stream, which is a really interesting thing. Out of curiosity, do you have any... Is your full name and username findable via Board Game Geek? That's the thing, because when I talk about Ellen M, known as Deb J, that's nothing that you couldn't find yourself by going and clicking. That is all right there on the same web page as the Kitty Cataclysm front of the box. It looks exactly like that. It does occur to me that at this point, maybe there is need for some sort of library system. When I say there's a need from my perspective. I mean, but if we are going to be doing board game documentary or board game critique, like, if I were to get rid of Labyrinth, and again, I'm not sure what the rules are of me talking about this game are, so just to let so I can legally talk about it, Labyrinth, I'm trying to think of a nice thing because I don't want to keep saying mean things about the game. Labyrinth, sometimes it can make you feel clever. Sometimes when you've got a when you put down a card and then you pick 2 cards up, you can feel slightly clever, and then you feel like, yeah, I've managed to achieve something. And yeah, me showing this, if I wasn't to give you that critique, would that be technically illegal? I don't know. I mean, is the fact that I'm showing you copyrighted images, if you look very hard in the background of my screen right now, is that legal? If you look at the background of most board game reviewers, when they have board games, behind them, is that legal? I mean, I feel like it should... yeah, you know what? I'm going to sell it to you for 90 quid. Yep, 90 quid only. I'll give you my copy of Labyrinth. but genuinely, if you zoom in there, yeah, it has like copyrighted stuff from at least, I'm just looking if I can see, yeah, from 1, 2, 3, 4 games on the top of my cupboard, and it's got some patterns that are probably copyrighted because those patterns, and it's, yeah, genuinely, what is those boxes in the background? Are you allowed to do that? If I want to show Board Game Arena, I'm allowed to have that wrapper. It feels like it's a really, really grey area, and I don't know what to do. And so, yeah, that's been on my mind a lot yesterday. And honestly, it's making me feel really, I guess it made me feel concerned about this stream and a little bit sad because, as I say, the simplest thing to say is just, well, I will not show these images. But it does mean that, yes, if I want to get rid of my games in future, if I want to get rid of Good Question, for example, you know, I'm not really going to talk about it. So I've got to kind of, if I want, part of the reason that I reviewed stuff is for my own memory. So that's if in 10 years' time, I'll say, oh, Good Question, what was that game all about? Now that I've given it away to someone, then I look up my own review and hopefully that can help me. And am I ever going to talk about Labyrinth again? Well, I might not. I'm going to probably get rid of it at some point. But, and I like, by the way, I like that it's got a FSC sticker. That is my other good thing. Yeah, genuinely. So whether I'd look at my own review instead of the BGG page, no, I'd look at the BGG page to kind of get an overview. But if I wanted to remember what did I think of it, why did I not like about that? And yeah, where is the point? I mean, my glasses were designed by someone. My clothes were certainly designed by someone. I can't quite see the label. There's a label there that says who actually made it. And yeah, it's, you mock me. You mock me, Alan, but it's a fair point. And yeah, yeah, it's, I don't know how to navigate this. And I feel like anyone who actually knew what they were talking about wouldn't want to come onto a stream to talk about this with me because, you know, there could be a legal minefield if someone says, well, I've been sued and you told me that it was okay to do this, so you're a lawyer, so therefore I'm suing you. And I have been given advice by at least 4 lawyers in the past who have been very generous in the time. And BGG lets you filter by license. Maybe you can explain how to do that on another day, like, because that would be really useful in advance of Alan Paul's thing on Tuesday. And that is the question. Would they be offended? I mean, the individual who said that they would be offended, have they even put up their stuff on BGG? I guess that's the question. And a lot of people put up stuff on BGG because they want to show off their creativity, because they want to show off their because they want to show off their pizza. And I've now gotten full permission from Xate. Xate, can I have permission to just show off all your pictures? That Xate, your Instagram, it is public, right? And can I have permission to just show off your images for blankets copyright in future? But genuinely, when you show this is like, I want to show off people who've shared their creation. I'm going to try unfollowing you because it warns me if it is public. So just if people are wondering, we'll cook for board games. I will try to unfollow, yep, and I can follow back again. It says totally public, so anyone can see any of these photos. So since any of these, Reef, for example, has 5 images under the Copying Allowed license, 2 box covers and 2 components. That would be really useful, yeah, if you can message me. Thank you very much, Andrew, because even if there's like a URL and then I can swap the board game number, that's at least something that I could sort of do on the fly. Ideally, I want it to be something that I can do on the fly, and it might mean that it takes me slightly longer, and so we do keep the games played a little bit shorter. And I never once looked at a cool pic and then checked who took it. I just thought, nice, and moved on. And this is something about BGG that it does kind of put them all in a bucket. I feel like unless anyone has any more input, we've exhausted this topic, and we have already we started getting to the end of the hour. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is how long is this show? Now, there's going to be at least one show in, let me check my calendar, with someone that I asked to come on the 9th or 10th, because if someone comes on, and by the way, everyone is welcome. I'm interested in having more people on the show, and my normal rules are that you give me a topic, you do a little bio of yourself, you do like send me your links, send me a bunch of pictures that I can share, and I'm probably now going to change it to be like more like a legal disclaimer, just to say, by appearing on this show, you agree that I will just show all your things whilst because I've not double checked that. I assume that people are okay with that, but assuming is maybe not okay. Anyway, so length of the show. On the 9th or 10th of September, there's going to be someone on who will talk for about an hour. They've said that they need to do something with their kids shortly after 11. Normally they do it at 11, but if it's a few minutes, that's fine. Now, in the past, when I started, I had been talking about yeah, I did say that it was 46 minutes. I was aware. Anyway, so the point is that at the start, I was like more like, okay, this is a TV show. It's like, okay, we start at 10, then we finish at 11, and people know that's okay. At 11 o'clock, they'll be able to go on with their day. And I came from a background of doing this internet radio show, and I always made that between 54 and 56 minutes. Now, it was pre-recorded, but I think my longest ever show before editing was 59 minutes, and most of them were between 54 and 56 and a half minutes, because I don't want to do much editing for them. Now, I am able to stop things down, and even in that show, I did do, hey, what's a brilliant thing? I think I called it the cool thing of the week, because it was only a weekly show. And back then I also said, hey, what are some... Yeah, there was like a running gag where I'd say, okay, it's a binder of the week, it's the box of the week, the bottle of the week, it's the bread of the week. And every week we would talk about a different thing that starts with a B. I never actually did the recent highlights and the... I assume that that's in response to the bread of the week and all those things. So I never did the recent highlights, but I did have these regular bits, and I would always have a little bit of singing at the start and the bits at the end, and you can still go and listen to most of those on Mixcloud. And I sent one with Paul Grogan that was never uploaded to Mixcloud because that uploading was done by someone else. I've sent it to War Not Wizards, Richard Simpson, who's going to put it up on their stream, fingers crossed, quite soon. Anyway, so my point is that I could finish this every day at 10:59, between 10:57 and 10:59, if I felt like that would make it a better show. And what Xate has suggested is to say, yeah, you know what, this is a 90-minute show. This is a show that's normally 90 minutes. Sometimes someone can only speak for an hour, and we're going to aim for, between 59. We're going to basically be bang on at the hour. And then sometimes it will last a tiny bit longer. Sometimes it'll be a tiny bit less, but it's about an hour and a half. Because I guess the truth is, I don't really watch live streaming. I mean, I had the bits of, I've watched a couple of things live very briefly, like I might pop in for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but then I get bored and, I'll kind of, I did enjoy the loser thing for, it wasn't a live stream, it was on Zoom. It was, that WillyCon. And yeah, I feel like when I'm watching, I don't really want to watch other people playing games and then talking about the games, because for me, that's not interesting, but other people do. And so since other people apparently find that interesting, I've been thinking that's something that I might start doing. Because the truth is, and people want different things, and I would not watch this stream probably, but I don't know, would I? Like, if I knew that the person was kind of answering all my questions, that would keep my interest going. And so I guess that's why I always make sure to prioritize questions. So I don't always pop up the questions, even if I am always reading all the comments. And yeah, reading this, I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate this positivity. And yeah, would I watch it if Xate was the host? And I don't know, like, basically, I honestly don't know. Again, I feel like I would probably want to join in on the video for the live streams, because I think that would be, if someone else were doing it, yeah, I'd like to join in. But as for joining in and just typing messages, that's not something that I know if I would have the desire to do, really. Yesterday, I watched lots of videos, true story. So I've been catching up on Magic the Gathering and seeing what they've been up to over the past 7 months. There's lots of stuff there. They've got, I'm not going to get into it. This isn't a Magic the Gathering show, but they're continuing to improve their, like, this jump start where instead of full deck construction, you get 2 little boosters and then you mash them together. There's some interesting stuff. And yeah, it's like, apparently I hooked Xates in by being given a sword, but I don't think that's entirely true, is it? I feel like I gave you, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one, because I watched all these things. I appreciate all the design work that they do on Magic the Gathering. I was watching to see, okay, yes, as Calvin Wong Tsiloon recently said, they made mill to be an actual keyword. For many years, Mark Rosewater has been talking about how mill would be a terrible word for them to use. And now they've kind of done a 180. And on Twitter, Mark Rosewater went on to say, basically, I'm not going to check it to find it verbatim, but Mark Rosewater basically said, for years, we were trying to find a better word to use than mill, and eventually we realized that we couldn't find one, so I guess we're using mill. And yeah, it sounds like they basically gave up because they were like, yeah, it's the best of a bad bunch. I was curious about this. I was curious about the fact that they've started having dogs now. They've changed something that has been going on for quite a while. And they do continue to make interesting design choices and do good work. Some of it are, I'm not saying anyone's perfect and above reproach, but certainly there is a lot to learn from Magic the Gathering. So I watched a bunch of their videos, and it was all between, generally, I was watching about 1.5, 1.75 speed. Generally, if I watch a review, I'm going to watch it on double speed. And watching things, I just find it's a bit slow. Like watching something like this, I could understand, okay, maybe if someone was actually doing it every day, if one person wants to start a Twitch every single day at 9 a.m., you know what, I might be interested in joining it if it was as entertaining and, you know, you got cool people on and you talked. Maybe it would motivate me to, I don't know, maybe get up. Although that's kind of normally when I have a shower these days. Yeah, so if I wasn't doing my own thing, then maybe I would. Maybe I would kind of watch it and be doing something else. Maybe I'd be doing some exercise. Maybe I'd do something else. And I don't know if... so this is... pardon me. Pardon my throat. That is totally fair, Xate. So what we're saying is that for you, it's basically because we've got that real-world connection. Aquasulus says that the interviews and the questions are interesting, as well as playing along at home. I assume playing along at home you mean the Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m s. Glad to hear you're enjoying that. Oh, by the way, if I haven't already said, BEZZY, 31st July, 1st August, 2nd of August, coming up next weekend, 2 p.m. every day, is going to be a prize play along, and everyone is going to be, who joins in, will be in the running to win the wee thing. I feel like the best interviews are open-ended, so you don't have to be mindful of rushing through the questions to meet the time limit. I've spent a lifetime on this side of the screen. When I watch them later on YouTube, I do watch double speed, but then you miss out on the community. And Loserpalooza I watch because they're hilarious and interact well with chat and include us in the games playing. We aren't just watching them. The chat has become a community and we do things off stream together too. And that is something I don't strive to be hilarious, I wouldn't say. That's not something I aim for. But I do aim to interact well with chat also and include you in the games. And hopefully, you know, that comes across. Yeah, we have the side conversations and interactions. And that's it. It's like, hopefully and when there is a side conversation, I really enjoy it. And I realize that we're at the end of, coming to the end of the hour. And, you know, there's a sense of, so the length of a show, how long should it be? Okay, so talking about, this is the official monthly check-in with the chat. So the questions for me, I feel like I should just put up banners for these. Am I enjoying it? Okay, where's that book? The book that I wrote was basically, is it turning into something worthwhile? Am I enjoying it? Am I obligated to do it? Those are basically the 3 reasons to do something. I kind of am obligated to do some of these chats going forwards that I've said, okay, yeah, can you come on to this show at such and such a date? And over the next month, I think, yeah, over the next week, for example, yeah, basically over the next, in August, we've got, actually that's not August, next week we've got Steve D, Alan Paul, and myself on my own for BEZZY, then Calvin Wong, then it's a 3-day BEZZY thing, then it's Lolvi, Nuria, Dina, then maybe a pause, then it's Norbert, and I should take that, then it's weekends that I've not got planned, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the following week around my birthday, 1, 2, 3 planned in the week around UK Games Expo, and 1, 2, 3 planned in the final week of August. And so in a way, am I obligated to do it? Sure, in a sense, and I'm obligated at least for the next month. But and that's a totally fair point. But I don't want it to be anyone's right. I mean, for those people, well, no, it's not your right. I'm just doing it. And if at some point it's not enjoyable and I'm not getting some value from it, then I'm going to stop. But at the same time, whilst I'm doing this, my value that I'm getting from it is partially, having other people derive value from it. I want to make something that's entertaining to other people, and I could right now chat until 11:50. I couldn't chat until 12 because I'm playing with my family at 12, and I want to make that appointment. But I could chat until, and I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you very much for saying so. I could, if I didn't have plans with my family, I could easily chat for 3 hours. Now, would people want to watch this for 3 hours? Presumably not. I mean, that feels a bit extreme. It feels like maybe aiming for the 1.5 hour mark. And these are games that I feel like I've played enough that I would like to do a review of them. Maybe not today because I've already chatted so much, and so I'm just going to kind of put them to the side. Actually, you know what? Really quickly, no, I think that this is going to take more mental energy than, and I would rather review them out in the garden and when I can show the games clearly on the table. Right now, I can't show them on the table. Now, the question, yeah, people have learned a lot, hopefully, like not drilling holes into dice unless you kind of pause and then keep going. It's not just about having spare drill bits. I think we decided it's about doing a little at a time. That was what's going on, and some acetone or lasers. And yeah, apparently just me replying to messages is like magic. And I really like the StreamYard because someone watching after the fact, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm responding to. If you're watching on Facebook, you can see what I'm responding to. And there is a program where all the messages from any channel are copy pasted into all the other channels. And that is a program that I could use. But yeah, if you want to learn how to stream, then just go to StreamYard. I will type it out in the StreamYard, like StreamYard. That is the program that I use. I use the paid version. I am paying them a fair amount per month because I paid them a certain amount because I wanted to be able to have my own banners. So this is going to be, well done, StreamYard. You've done a good enough job that I am basically giving you free advertising right now, even though I am actually paying for the things. So if I hadn't paid for StreamYard, then there would be a logo there, and there would be an overview there, and the background would be like that. And so if I ever do that, it would be like that. That would be what it looks like. And the bottom would not be red and white. I don't think that's something that I could change. However, and apparently, if I was more technically minded, I could make animations and use them as an overlay, but then I'd have to put them as an overlay and then remove them. Cancel, take that off, and take that off. So you pay something like, if you are happy to have someone else's branding on your channel, which at the start I was like, hey, this is just something that I'm doing. I don't know if anyone will be watching it, and so I started doing it for a while, and then after a couple of weeks I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this enough that I'm going to pay I think it's like $25 per month. And then I carried on like that for a while. And then I stopped using YouTube and started using Twitch, but then I realized that Twitch doesn't keep all my streams, which was annoying. So there's like a black hole on YouTube. And so currently I'm paying, I think it's, I'm just going to double check. I think it's something like 45. No, that doesn't seem right. Am I, let me actually, my account, billing, okay, so I've basically paid for the entire year, because at a certain point I was like, yeah, I'm wanting to do this. I'm enjoying doing this. This is going to be something that I continue doing. And it is a price that I've decided to pay for my own mental health. I've paid $468 for the entire year. And the StreamYard logo was definitely up there. If you go to my YouTube, so let me do YouTube. So quick reminder, if you're watching this and if you are enjoying it, please do subscribe to my YouTube also, because if I get 55 more people, then I can have a vanity URL. Anyway, so this is me. This is what you would see if you go to my YouTube, and then you could click on videos, and then you could scroll down. And basically, I didn't have many videos before this. Why is it not scrolling down? Come on, scroll further, scroll further. Okay, so I had some videos of Grabble, Wibble, Kitty Cataclysm. I had some jog throughs at Essen 2018, and then people didn't really comment. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother doing them more. Then I had some playthroughs. Here we go, Tuesday night online gaming. That was, I believe, the first one that I did. And so I'm fairly sure that maybe there was like a free thing. No, oh, I know what it is. At the start, I was doing it on Facebook. And yeah, so it's facebook.com/thingsbybez, as we can see by that thing. So originally, StreamYard only lets you upload to one place at a time. And so if we go on to Facebook, we can see all the videos and carry on scrolling. And I guarantee you will, because Facebook is basically the only place where you can see literally all of the videos, sadly, because of the black hole that I mentioned. So at the start, yes, if you want to do it, use StreamYard. If you don't want to use technical stuff, there are other options that exist, but this is just very, very simple. And so as you can see, the BEZZY breakfast board game BLETHER was 12 weeks ago, but way before that was the social gaming that I used to do 3 times a week. And here we go. Live test the word game and chat with Sally Jones. That was the first stream I ever did. And there you see, powered by StreamYard. You see it? In the corner. I don't know if I can upload Facebook videos to YouTube. I have no idea. Yeah. So that would certainly allow me to fill the black hole. Anyway, the point is that, yeah, what we've decided is that, yes, Xate, if you, oh, is there, well, if someone wants to help me, oh, it takes forever apparently, and there's lots of them. So with StreamYard, as I've said, I've paid the money. It is $468, which is a fair whack, but I'm like, okay, this feels like a business expense that I can justify, because yes, I am talking about other people's games, and if I had to give the I like this game, solid abstract strategy game, would like to play again, will definitely keep. In Mindleaf, quality game, I really like it. Some other, it's a bit more abstract strategy, thinky aheady, good game. This is a decent game, not for me, and Labyrinth, not for me at all. But yeah, I do talk about other people's games, but I also, pretty much every single stream, I mention Yogi. I pretty much always mention something to do with the L deck, and the fact that now Aquasulis and Alan Oughton and Xate, you are all working on games for the L deck. That's thanks to the stream, basically. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, absolutely. But if it were not for me talking about Wibble, Grabble, Phrasal, Fable, Alphabetical, Mickle, Couple, and I never did one for... Did I never do one for Categorical? Oh my god. Did I not do one for Categorical? Oh my gosh. I never did a Wednesday self-promotional video about... Anyway, the point is that I do... Back in the day, before I got quite so many people, every Wednesday would be self-promotion day. And back when it was basically just me, and I was planning to have maybe 1 or 2 guests a week as opposed to 5, 6, or even 7. And yeah, it is self-promotion. Yeah, so I definitely need to do one for Categorical. Man, I'm slightly ashamed of myself. But okay, so streaming. I need to... This is why I benefit from notes. Okay, so I'm just going... This is the first... Going old school with the banners. Time. So how long should the kind of things take? So we're talking about time. So in theory, this could be a pod show where I say, okay, this is about 90 minutes. Sometimes when I'm inviting guests, I can say, if you need to go off by 11, we can make it shorter. Basically, it needs to be 50. It's between 50 minutes and 2 hours, and it's normally 90 minutes unless the guest needs to leave sooner, or if the guest is having technical problems or something. Like, I went through some of them with Xate, and basically it was just the ones with technical issues that were less than 1 hour 20. Now, how long would you like this stream to be? Would you like it to be even longer? Would you like it to be 2 hours? Would you like it to be 3 hours? If it was 3 hours, would you actually watch? Let me know, please. That is the first question, and I'm going to put a pin in that. And then the second question is self-check-in. Okay, self-check-in. Am I enjoying it? Am I obligated to do this? Yes, kind of, but if I'm not, the key question is, am I producing something worthwhile? I hope so. I feel like I'm moving towards the point where it kind of goes to worthwhile. So thanks for... So 60 minutes apparently feels short. Alan says 90 minutes is good. 70 minutes could work. And yeah, I feel like what I'm going to do probably going forwards is aim for finishing after 70 minutes, unless we have more to say. And yeah, maybe yeah, let me know what would be the most that you would watch. Let me know. And Xate would watch 1.5 hours with an interesting topic going to 2 hours. So let me know the upper amount of time that you would watch. So am I enjoying it? That is the key question. Yes, I am. I'm really enjoying it. And part of that is because other people are watching. Parts of that is because it gives me an obligation to be dressed, to be somewhat presentable, to be in front of my computer. It gives my days a sense of routine. It gives me a feeling of interaction, that I say things and then sometimes people write things back at me straight away. It's amazing. I mean, Alan Oughton talks about the magic. If I scroll back to find... Yep, there we go. And in a way, it's the same as me. Like, I talk, and then other people just their things pop up. No, you don't have to be dressed, but if you want to show up on my thing, then I have to be dressed, and I generally get showered beforehand. There's been days when I haven't, but it is a really valuable thing for me. And when I have guests, I enjoy learning from them. I really enjoyed Jessica Hancock, chatting to them. I enjoyed seeing Tiz, because when I have guests on it, like seeing Tiz, that's like just seeing an old friend, someone that I love. And but yeah, absolutely. I think that if we had more people, then I think that for me, that would be reassurance that it's a valuable thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love having you around, but there is going to come a day at some point when, Alan, you can't be here. And that day, I'm going to be a bit sad. And, it would be not, at this point, like, I'm going to be a bit less sad because, there are other people who quite often pop in. But, Tuesday, Alan can't be here. That's fair. Well, thanks for warning me. But, yeah, at this point, it feels like, hopefully I'll see Xate. Maybe I'll see, Alex or Andrew or some other people. And certainly I feel like if we did have, let's say, 10 times as many people watching, we would probably have a little bit more rambling. And there is the sense of what's called quite often a chill stream. And there's something where I was watching someone do karaoke for about half an hour, and that it was kind of off in the background, and they did maybe 3 different songs on. There's a Twitch thing called Singing Live or Live Sings or something like that, or Twitch Sings. And anyway, the point is that sitting down and just being like, okay, it's not a planned thing. It's just, okay, let's sit down and hang out with people, people being in chats. And then that would be nice to kind of have people chatting back and forth. And when I have people chatting around me, yes, it does make me feel like, yeah, my life has some meaning. And it makes me feel like there's something really nice going on, like have been of value. And Xate, so this is slightly dark, but the same way that you talk about trying to make me laugh, and I really appreciate that, and it's amazing. But when I have people around, it's like when it's people playing my games, that's a convention. It's like, wow, I made something of value. It's a good thing that I'm alive. And then I see Matt Thrower talk about Couple and say that they played it the second time and they were really excited to get the perfect score. And it's like, yeah, I've done something good. I'm really happy, and hopefully I will continue to do good things that bring value to people. And I guess that's, in a sense, that's what I want, is to feel of value and valued. And I know that sounds maybe quite morbid, but yeah, I want to, kind of, be like, kind of, here's some like games that made people smile or something. And I really appreciate that, Xate, I do. And, recently, like, I used to have a banner that said, like, potential sad stuff. I'm just going to type that in again. It's not even potentially sad stuff, it's actual sad stuff. So Yeah, basically, I am not okay. I'm not terrible, depending on how you say terrible. I could be worse because you could always be worse. But I'm definitely not okay, is the truth. And this really helps. Someone said, hey, you've got a lot on your plate. Would it be easier if you did this stream like every, like 3 days a week or 1 day a week or something? And it's like, no. Yesterday, like I chatted, I had a bit of dinner and I was like, just had sudden fatigue. And then I went to bed to snooze for a bit. And then I had a quick conversation on video with someone in America, which was lovely. And after that, I was again fatigued, and I basically either slept or watched really quick videos or read things. I didn't, and some of that is emotional, some of that is just I'm drained by things in the world. Some of that might be physical, that I've not been getting out as much as I would like to, and I've not been doing as much exercise. I don't know. Maybe I've not been eating as healthily as I could, because, yeah, I did have, yesterday I ate some juice for breakfast after the show, quickly followed by some peas, veg, and low quality calamari. The calamari, oh my god, it was so bad. I'm just laughing, remembering how bad that calamari was. Oh my gosh, I would never buy calamari from Lidl again. No. It was dry, it was reconstituted, it didn't have the texture of calamari, it was just not good. But anyway, yeah, I had a vegetable thing with that had previously cooked, so it was a home cooked meal. And yeah, I feel like after that, I was like, yeah, what am I doing for the rest of the day? And I didn't have any plans. And it made me a bit sad because, yeah, I didn't have any plans to have anyone over. I didn't have the energy to write any emails. And I didn't, oh, thank you, CD. It's lovely to see you. And it was like the entire rest of the evening, I was just kind of in bed. And then I think I might have, yeah, I did have a late night snack, which was some Polish stuff. It's actually, I don't know how you pronounce this. Yizg. That's how I'm pronouncing it. And it was, yeah, just a bit of sugar. And then I slept, and then I got up at a reasonably early time this morning. And, honestly, this dream, so there was a time in my life around the end of 2015, I want to say, when I was really low. And it's true that if I had not kickstarted Innerbind Junior, if I'd not started it and then felt obligated to continue it, I would have been far more likely to kill myself. And sorry, I should probably put triggers of suicide or something. And yeah, it's, I don't know how to express this self without really getting insanely dark, but yeah, you get what, basically we talk about obligation, like obligation is a bad thing, but sometimes an obligation can be a good thing. Like, okay, an obligation, I'm feeling a sense of obligation to get out and run. I am not, but if I were, okay, I'm feeling a sense of obligation to do this show. And it is really lovely. And it was lovely having you on CD, like when we were chatting and, learning about WellyCon and just, seeing all that and being part of that. That felt like, it, even doing the fun things, sometimes it takes a real energy and overcoming that mental barrier before you start doing the fun thing. In the days of me going outside, sometimes I would really struggle to go outside. True story. Like if I'm at an Airbnb with other people and then, okay, we're all going to UK Games Expo together, yeah, that would be really something lovely. But back in the days of like 5 months ago, okay, on Tuesday, it would be a sense of I am I have to overcome that mental barrier to go out. I am going to enjoy it when I'm out swing dancing with people, but getting out, um, there is a little bit. I have tiny bits of anxiety, and it is a little bit of being in your own social elements when people are around, and then building up that obligation. And I have had people in the past be my accountability buddy. But then the truth is that being someone's accountability buddy for something like exercise takes a lot of it out of the other person to say, hey, have you done your exercise? And then if you want to be each other's accountability buddy, it takes something out of both of you potentially. Anyway, so that is the end of my sad stuff. And like, I mean, and I don't mean to make you feel bad, like, say it, like when you talk about like you haven't made games like that. I don't want to be like, okay, if you haven't made games, it's not of value. Like even like that whole all the human connections that you've done have been of intense value. And you know, from my perspective, you know, the videos that seeing the pizza thing, that's brought a smile to my face. And having you here, it's is energizing. And yeah, and so thank you. And yeah, and I really appreciate all your support. And I really appreciate this CD. It is lovely to hear. And I do feel like yeah, CD is an extrovert, but staying home even when they have the chance to go out, it's not unusual, but it's not easy. And that is just it. Life is too much fun. That's a weird way to put it. Life is too much fun. I think it gets older, easier when it gets older. Maybe. Um, Obligations, anyone watching this after the fact, yeah, obligations are parts of the recommended therapeutic practices for people suffering from many issues. And I really appreciate that. Anyway, honestly, it's a weird, it's a monumentally weird time. These times when we're scared to touch other people, when we're aware of all the injustice going on in the world, when we are seeing, you know, our housemates far more than we ever expected to, when we can get tetchy, it's, you know, monumentally weird. And I really appreciate. So thank you very much. It's, yeah. And I'm just going to do this and then Okay. Yeah. So, stream check-in with myself. I am enjoying it, and it is of massive value to me. And it's difficult for me to overstate how much value there is in this. So thank you everyone for being part of this. Anyway, we've got the time. I've heard from Xate that they say, what is the most amount of time you would like this show to go on for? How long should it be? Is there something that I should aim for? I think I might just skip the whole games we've been playing recently, because most of it's about board games anyway. I mean, I sometimes worry. So I would really like some constructive criticism. I would really like to hear not only what you liked, but also what you do not like about the stream. And thank you. I really appreciate all this, genuinely. And yeah, I would like, this is an invitation for criticism right now. Yeah, 75 minutes as a maximum. Aim for 70 and wind down at that point. That means 1 hour 15. Yeah, I mean, that's something I could do. Kind of move it more towards being a sort of general talk show. Because when I have people on, it is an obligation for them. Now, sometimes when it's someone like Phoebe, we end up talking, and I'm like, yeah, this is basically 2 hours, and then we just chat. And when it's me, I can chat as long as I want. And yeah, if I skipped, what would you people feel about me skipping entirely the games I've been playing section? How would you feel about me? Maybe we just quickly say, hey, in our recent highlights, maybe I combined them into a section of recent highlights and games we've been playing, but we don't concentrate too much on the games. And the games, I'm like, yeah, I played this. This was clearly a kid's game. It was a bit too random for me. I played this. Yeah, it's all right. We had fun, but I just feel like it's a little bit too much luck for me. I played this. I really liked the game, but yeah, Mindleaf. No, who's that? Layla. I'm really terrible with names. Sometimes brain not working. Yeah, Mindleaf. Layla doesn't like pure abstract strategy games, and this. The running banner is very American. Okay, as in you find that the running. Oh, that's interesting. So, CD, would you actually prefer it if it were just like oh, nothing to there? I mean, the benefits of a running. Yeah, first question, Andy and I said, okay, Hive Pocket, we enjoyed this. I like abstract strategy games. And Layla found that they couldn't really plan so many moves ahead, and it was more like feeling it out and trying things, and they were given permission to do that. So let me think about, should I do a super quick thing? Should I try to be like, okay, we played Hive Labyrinth, blah, blah, blah. And if it's a new game, then I can talk about it. And maybe we even skip the games played recently. And Yeah, the nice thing about the running back. Okay, nice talking point. Aquasulis, nice talking points. Are you talking about games or are you talking about the running banner? Because, yeah, the thing about the banners is that the whole point is that, yeah, this is the BEZZY Brunchy board game BLETHER. And if people are jumping in, it's like, yeah, what's going on? And then over the course, like yesterday when I had his, I had 3 banners up. One was, hey, let's talk about Tiz, and this is pre-made, and we can read about it. And it says on the bottom, because I know some people have problems reading it, Tiz Creel is an artist from Mexico City, currently based in London. Recently, she graduated. Oh, that should be from a master's degree in fine arts at Goldsmiths University. Then the other one, play has been a recurrent drive for Tiz's artistic presence and everyday life, using it as a medium and as a way to understand the world. And then there was another one with Tiz's links on it. And okay, so yeah, I like the highlights, but yeah, Aquasulis says they also like the rolling banner, and that is why I have the rolling banner, because for me the rolling banner kind of is a bit, how should I say it? I wish I could have a not rolling banner, but with the medium I've got, if I don't have its rolling banner, that is how it is. So if I want a little banner, then I have to make it into a rolling banner, and then this allows me to also have, okay, that's what we're generally doing, and then we're talking about that, or we're talking about that. And so there's, yeah, I mean, if someone pops in right now and then they would say, hey, what's going on here? What then hopefully they would be able to look at the bottom and say, okay, Bez is checking in with herself and doing an ask me anything. So if I ask something, then I should have higher than normal expectations of yeah, doing stuff. I think that I appreciate you telling me that you don't like the moving banner. I am taking that on board, and if a lot of other people have issues with it, because I know that Xate can't read it all the time, and there's a lot of other people for whom it might just be a wee bit too fast, and they can't change that speed. But it's just there for to allow people to jump in. Other feedback. Let's see. To do. Yep, I will try to keep that. It's kind of a structure that works to introduce people slowly and warm up to the topic. Yeah, maybe we should just be. Maybe I should just say, without going into any details, what games have you been playing recently, and just be doing a quick boop, 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 and that is it. Especially, and yeah, absolutely. I'm aware that to make the final decision, but I do really appreciate you chiming in, because this is like playtesting, and the rolling banner is better than the chandelier. Oh, because the lights are flickering. Sorry, I can't do anything about that. Yeah, the lights is flashing. It's my bad electrics. Is that the rolling banner? Maybe it's just because there's less text. Yeah. BLETHER does imply it won't be all boop-de-doop, boop-de-boop, boop-de-boop, boop-de-boop versus boop-de-doop, boop-de-boop, 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 boop-de-doop, 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 boop-de-boop. Yeah, I think both are perfectly valid. Yeah, I think that I might do what CD suggests and just drop it, because yeah, I'll still do it in my weekly check-in with myself, and I will review stuff. No, I can't do that, basically. Yeah. Will we ever get to see a calyx behind me? Oh. No. No, there's physically not enough space. If I put a calyx here, that would mean that yeah, that's not going to happen. That calyx would have to be right beside my bed. To be fair, my room is pretty messy, so it might not be a terrible idea, actually. Now you've got me thinking. I mean, true story. Okay, true story. I am going to buy a new calyx, so I've got about I've got two 2x4s, which I believe makes 8 cubes, plus lots of games stacked in the other room. But I want some calyx here. Not just about how high would it have to go? Would a 4x4 be high enough? I mean, I'm trying to work how. Yeah, I mean, could I push this any? No, I can't push this any further that way. I can't push my bed any further that. No, I could push it to about 30 centimeters, maybe. Yeah, this. Oh my God, maybe I might. I think you're onto something. Like a calyx here and a calyx there. Maybe the calyx there is for my personal belongings because I was going to make a calyx for my prototypes and stuff. And then maybe the calyx here, I could just about have the width of a calyx, I think. I think I could. And then I can sort of put in the games. That would be quite cool. And then I could just be like, boom, here, check out this game. Man, I like it. Yeah. I don't know why I've popped this up. No, I'm not doing that. And yes, we can all send our games to Xate. Oh, who's this person? Alpha Gamer. I've not heard of Alpha Gamer before. Alpha. Do you have a video or a link? Alpha Gamer. Twitch. Tutorial. How would I find it? Perfect. Oh, do you mean Alpha Gaming? Is that what you meant? Oh yes. Xate's got me to change the things, but yeah, don't give in to this nonsense. I don't know. I feel like it's a perfectly good idea. And then if I had games behind me, you wouldn't have to see the chandelier. No, I'm down with calyx, because just imagine if I had calyx, you wouldn't see the chandelier. Yeah. Anyway, so I think it says I saw something on again, talking back to like the very start, like if I show this, I'm showing Google's copyrighted logo. I'm showing, their presumably copyrighted images, but I am doing it in order to provide commentary on these things. But yeah, this is a real legal minefield, and this legal minefield of what can I show, what can I not show, this is really exhausting. And I just want to have a bit of fun. I don't want to do all this stuff. I mean, I'm not money. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah, we were having this whole thing before, and I would really like to have a roundtable with everyone about it if possible. But so yeah, Alex, the chat before was basically if I were to show where was it? This game. Let's say I don't know who put this picture in. Also, so this picture's by Eric Martin, and so this picture's by. It's just a really weird thing because by bringing up Board Game Geek, I am now giving a little bit extra exposure to those advertisers, which, great for Board Game Geek, and I'm sure that Board Game Geek is quite happy to have their logo up. This particular image is by Eric Martin, and Eric Martin working for Board Game Geek, I'm sure they're quite happy. Now, if I wanted to provide this image, which is all rights reserved by Eddie Inzaoto, my understanding is that I would have to now provide some commentary on the image. And I could say that in this particular image, I feel like this little black sections on the top left and the top right, they slightly detract. I feel like a lower perspective, it kind of feels like someone wanted to go halfway between the top down, let's show everything view, and the bottom kind of side on, hey, I'm going to do something really dramatic view, but didn't quite know what they were going for. It feels like, yeah, what's this little card kind of poking on the bottom right? And by saying all that, I feel like I've now added enough commentary to have it be fair use. But anyway, that is the whole thing, quagmire of let's move on. No, I'm not talking about the game pieces, because the copyrighted part is not the game. In this example, the copyrighted part is the photograph, and that's the really weird thing. So anyway, what was I going to talk about? I'm actually going to check in on YouTube to see. I've been streaming for nearly 3 months. Apparently this is my 87th one, so hooray for me, I guess. Let's chat about what's working. Yeah, please, everyone in the comments, if you would do me a massive favor, tell me one thing that's working for you, one thing you like, and at least one thing, and one thing that I could improve on. I would really appreciate it, because I've reached a point. Yeah, so please, everyone, let's chat about what's working. How could I improve? Am I enjoying it? Yes, I am. How should I continue? I guess that's a question for me and you to decide. Let's chat. Yes, let's chat. Now, so if everyone can tell me something that you're enjoying and some way that I can improve. I wanted to talk about the fact that I am planning to get a little boom mic type thing, like a proper mic stand, and then have a bottom down thing so that I can start next weekend, live stream my sketches, and also have that set up on a secondary camera, because I can put up a secondary camera as a mobile phone. And I'm probably, given what we've already said, going to slightly lower the time, but sometimes when it's with Calvin Wong Tse-Loon, Calvin and I might chat for 2 hours or whatever. We will chat as long as Calvin and I are both happy to chat, and I will try to infer from Calvin's demeanor when Calvin doesn't want to chat anymore. I was going to chat about a few games I'd recently played, and I chatted about these several times. These are games I played. I enjoyed all of them to some degree. This was my least favorite, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad game. It just means that it's a game that's intended for maybe 6-year-olds. I would say actually 6 is probably a bit too on the high side. And I would say that Nib Cards, it is a Nigerian board game. I love the people, and there's some interesting production choices because it is all being produced in Nigeria. So maybe the cardboard isn't quite as strong as Kitty Cataclysm, where you can properly punch and it's still no damage. But with something like Nib Cards, even just from having things, it's a little bit of creased, but it's got cool, fun graphics. It's got cows. It's got some weird psychedelic cows. Anyway, so what other games did I play? I can't actually remember. What games did I play? Can you remind me, please? Okay, I'm going to look at quickly past podcasts. Okay, Tuesday we played Paper Alphabetical, which works okay, and I've got a new idea for how to change it. And we also played Puppy Dog Tales. Yeah, Puppy Dog Tales. That works really well. I really enjoyed Puppy Dog Tales. I would totally play that again, and we've decided we enjoyed it so much that we'll play it on a Thursday. That was by Steve D. Great game. Top Tail, yep, continuing to enjoy that. Good content. Free Mill, continuing to enjoy that somewhat. I managed to get the highest score. I know it's like, where do I go from here? Like once I get the highest score, I feel like there's not much work to do. Now that is all the games that I have been playing recently, I think. Now let's look at people's comments. Say likes the recent interviews and how people are involved in the conversation, and block that chandelier. So there's, I'm thinking also, I don't like this table that I have, but I don't know if I can afford a new table, because this table, it really hurts my legs, genuinely. But if I feel like there's a slightly better way I could arrange things, maybe. But yeah, let me think about it. Or keep brilliant things. Yep, we will absolutely have brilliant things and recent highlights. More singing. More singing. Do you want more singing? Tell me why. Do you want me to sing low? Or do you want me to sing high? Do you want me to add a calyx? That's something I might do. I will add a calyx. It's not just for you. I also want a calyx. I want to get organized. I want to get a calyx to put all my games inside. CD likes to play along with guests, the little singing intros, and maybe have some bumpers to have in between segments. Isn't that what my singing is? That was what I was trying to do. What do you mean by bumpers? That's what I do. I'm like, games, 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 games. What are we be playing? What are their names? Games. Recently, I've been playing, I feel yesterday I didn't play anything except for what I already told you about. Right, isn't that a bumper? Alex loves the energy, openness and singing. Go outside more. Invest in a long extension cable and Ethernet cable. That's the thing that I could do for sure. Maybe I do actually have a battery power pack that I just need to find. There was streaming. There was streaming. There was streaming and fun happening. Seconding the outside setting. Yeah, but then it's like you wouldn't get to see this at Calyx. I mean, you want a Calyx, you want me to go outside, make up your minds, people. Enjoying the mix of engaging personalities and learning. Oh, the length and the frequency are an issue. I don't have space in my life to watch more, but I can cope with just not watching everything. Oh, thank you. I'm aware that there is a lot of, stuff going on. My room won't, please do. Please come over. Please help me organize. The chandelier is just distracting, and, that light bulb keeps flickering. I think that's the, It's a weird start to the working day, having bye, this going ground in the head. The singing is the bumper. Outside needs a calyx on wheels. No. That's not something that I'm doing. No. Veto. Little video bumpers for Loserpalooza. Okay. If someone wants to make, like, I can do an overlay. I don't know exactly how, but if someone wants to do an overlay, I will show my appreciation in some way. And maybe by video bumpers are annoying. Loud in what way? Do you mean audio loud or video loud? Like just very busy? I was imagining just it kind of switches to be like the video would change and then suddenly it would be like boom. Wait, don't do that. Boom. if I were to be, let me change that. Let's say I was to say, okay, now we're going to have a new section. Let's talk about the BEZZY competition. BEZZY competition. Now, as you've already seen, yeah, why is it not? And then maybe we do that, and yeah, it could be like that maybe. And so I could be singing whilst there's like a video, and if the video matches this, then I think I can upload it to StreamYard. So technically the bumper doesn't have any audio, but it's the bumper video and I supply the audio myself. So it's kind of keep that, but with a little bit more professionalism. That kind of makes me feel like I want an opening bumper. Like what I really, I'll tell you what I want. What I really want is for someone to make a kind of, I don't know, like maybe 5 minutes countdown animation. I don't know if that could be uploaded. Someone to help do that. Maybe I should get Chris to help me, because I could just pay Chris to do that for me, maybe. By the way, talking about BEZZY competition, I'm just going to remind you, BEZZY is next weekend, and please do send a thing. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I want. What I really want. I really wanna bump. Okay. I will look down that thing. Yeah, down the rabbit hole of production. Anyway, so did that work? Whoops, I meant to send it to all destinations. Excuse me for the double post. I hope that is not too annoying. But yeah, that is something that I want to do. Blimey, this has been a long post. Thank you for sitting with me. Have I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about? Yeah, we've got a good bunch of ideas. Thank you very much. And I'm really glad to hear that you're generally enjoying it. I think that what Alan talked about is a good shout. Like sometimes I think especially when I have a guest on, when we're talking about specific things, I think it makes sense to keep things a bit more boom, boom, boom. And kind of with the moving on, it's like, okay, we're going to do the first bits super quickly. We're going to have the questionably quick questions. And those questionably quick questions, although it's questionable whether they're quick or not, maybe I could cut out a few of those questions and like some of the slightly harder questions. Because what I like is that by the time I've asked people about who they're living with and whether they've had breakfast and stuff like that, it's a little bit easier for us to chat. And I don't know how it's going to go with, say, Buppu. I hope I'm saying their name correctly. So in 1 to 3 weeks' time, I'm talking to Sai Beppu. Sai Beppu is a Japanese illustrator, works for some board games, and they don't speak English brilliantly, but they said that their husband would be able to translate. I might just send them the questionably quick questions ahead of time so they can think of all the answers. But yeah, I quite like having them, and yeah. Can I put my left index finger in? Oh, I love you. But yeah, it is it's I think I'm going to try and shorten things down. I'm going to try and up the production a little bit because I've already paid to do this, and say I'm going to get some money to have the mic stand and everything. I'm probably going to do some things in the evenings when I want, maybe like once a week. It'll be like a chill stream, and then it's like, I don't know when that should be. Like, it's a shame to not have Sates normally on a Sunday, but yeah. And I'm aware that I'm meant to be chatting with my family in a minute, but it's just really I'm really enjoying this, and I hope that I can continue enjoying it. I don't know what I'm going to do going forward when lockdown finishes. When I have other things to do, I will probably just say, you know what, this is every day at some certain time. Maybe it's this time, maybe it's 9 a.m., maybe at 10 a.m. seems like a reasonable time for me. And then I will, probably skip the Fridays because of the playtesting. Maybe I'll just pop my face on for literally 2 minutes and say, hey everyone, just to remind you there's no thing this morning. Maybe if I'm at a convention, I'll say, hey everyone, there's no long Twitch stream, but this is like what's going on. And maybe that would be a way to do it. Like if I'm actually somewhere, I'll just kind of remind people somehow. I mean, please, talking about things, like it is really, really, really time to wind down. Please follow me on stuffbez.com, twitter.com/stuffbez, and twitter.com is where I post the most. And I always remind people about what I'm doing that morning. And Instagram, I post about things like, where's my instagram.com/stuffbybez? That's my Instagram. And you can see sometimes me working on LDEC games like Puzzle, and sometimes working on typefaces, or sometimes it's just pretty foxes, or sometimes it's things that I love. And that is, you know, those are all photos that I took, so I can happily show them all off. And yeah, Tabletop Gaming Magazine, where I've been in, that's a minor celebration. Yeah, good times. And lockdown. It's been an interesting journey recently. I look forward to continuing it. I hope that please do join in the BEZZY in a Bind L competition. With video collation, I used StreamYard, as I was saying, so StreamYard. I was having a chat about. Streamlabs has more features, I believe, but OBS is just a lot more annoying to go through. LDEC design competition. If you've not, that's a thing that's happening. Check my Twitter. I'll be talking about that. Recap is that I am enjoying it. I'm really glad to hear that other people enjoying it. Other people enjoying it is kind of value for me. It gives me a purpose to continue living, and thank you everyone for doing that. Thank you. I'm not going to shout out actually go off for it. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Xate, Alex, Alan, CD, and also all the people who aren't here. You know, like Jess and other people, and sometimes Nick comes along, or Asa, sometimes everyone who sometimes pops along and says hello. And thank you to all my guests. Like, I've had some amazing guests over the past week. No, genuinely, I've had, like, over the past week, I've had, you know, Catherine about Dice, Lolvi talking about Ludotex, Leanne Weaver talking about Spiel des Jahres and chatting, Sally Jones about crafting things, Phoebe Wild about fashion, Jessica Hancock about manufacturing, and Sis just for a really, really nice blether. And it's been really enjoyable. And yeah. And that's it. Thank you, everyone. I hate to say goodbye, but it has to be done. And if you've enjoyed this, then please share, spread the word. I will continue to improve. If you want to give me feedback privately, then please feel free to reach out via email, stuffbez@gmail.com, or you can also reach out on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, as it is below. My future streams, Monday, I am having Steve D Tuesday, Alan Paul talking about wargaming. Andrew, if you could tell me about how to find copyright-free stuff on Board Game Geek, I would massively appreciate it. And Tuesday, Trials in the evening. Wednesday, BEZZY explanation. Thursday, Calvin Wong in the morning, and then for nighttime we're streaming some games. Might even stream in a bind. Why not? And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is going to be the extended BEZZY stream. And then starting back up again the following Monday with Lolvi. But I am here every day at 10 a.m. and Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. and also next Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 1 p.m. Sorry, I said 8 p.m., 8 a.m., but I meant 8 p.m. That is everything. And thank you again, everyone. Thank you. I'll see you all soon, hopefully. I hope. Oh wait, I totally missed things. This is where I need things we're looking forward to. Things we're looking forward to. This is a little section for me and you. Things we're looking forward to, and also hope and ambition. Hope and ambition. This is the music for this section. That's new music. So I'm looking forward to playing with my family. I'm feeling really bad because I'm keeping them waiting, and then I'm going to be chatting with Mina, and I'm going to also have some food at some point, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have some relatively healthy food. I'm going to defrost something that's previously cooked. Let me know what you're looking forward to. Let me know what your hope and ambition is. My hope and ambition is that I continue to stay alive, and that lots of people join in the BEZZY competition, and that to go as well, and that I get a little bit of work done. And yes, looking forward to my game day starting soon. Making pasta, hope it's going to be nice. Making or throwing into water. I assume throwing it into water, but making pasta means making the pasta sauce. Let us know. Making your own pasta, so meditative. Yes, rolling proper pasta. I've personally got like a little winding machine, and it comes out like tagliatelle. It's awesome. And making the sauce, yeah, that's what I imagined. So we've all got stuff that we're looking forward to. I have a lot of love for everyone. Seriously, thank you very much. And there is now properly only one thing left to do, which is to say bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. Now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, bye, bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. We all win. Bye, bye. Yeah, bye, bye. Aw, bye, bye.